hit the record button. Welcome to the Launch Mastermind. It is August 14th, 1:16. I am prepared to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. The point of what I just walked in on, you guys just kind of chatting, that's really the kind of the point of these masterminds. It's really to share experiences that we're having, whether they be good experiences, bad experiences. Hey, this is a good way to use my money. This is a poor way to use my money. It's really not designed to be like kind of lecture format where it's like, oh, y'all sit over there while I talk at you. It's really designed to be, sharing best practices, right? What are you guys learning? How have you, have you found any new piece of technology? Have you found any new piece of a tracking tool or something like that? I will throw one thing out there. In two of my coaching calls today, it has become very obvious that the people did not have kind of a daily tracker of some sort. So I built out this tool here, which we have a document in the daily success. It's called the daily success list that is in the Google Drive. I will show you one that I built. Hang on one sec. I don't want to tell you. I don't want to embarrass the person who had it. So I'll change the name real fast. Hang on one sec. Daily tracker. All right. And then now I'll share it with you guys. All right, hang on. So this is in the Google Drive, but I kind of tweaked it slightly to be a better illustration to match the weekly tracker that I have you guys do. So, and I'll put this version in the Google Drive. This is basically, daily success list. Can y'all see this? All right, date. And this is editable, of course, right? Did I open command? Did I review my goals? Have I done anything on social media today? Have I reviewed my pipeline, or do I even have a pipeline? Do I even know what a pipeline is, right? Did I do my one thing today? Was it completed? Did I complete my daily tracking? What is my one thing for the day? Have I set my appointment today? This is an illustration of the context that I need to make today, right? Cleanup tasks. This is basically another way of saying, what chaos did I create today that needs to be wrapped up, right? Did I promise somebody that I'd set them up on a search? Did I promise somebody I'd write them a handwritten note? Did I promise somebody I'd send an email? Do I need to call somebody back? That kind of stuff, right? What cleanup tasks need to get dealt with? And then at the bottom, you have hours generated, or hours of lead gen, number of contacts, number of new database people, number of appointments set, held, listings taken, contracts written, reflections, right? Any concepts, any ideas, anything you want to remember about today, right? What went well and what could I improve today? One page, super simple, and you just have a stack of these in front of you. And each day, this is kind of your, it's your guide. This is what kind of centers you, right? And it reminds you all day long, hey, I'm here at work to have conversations with people. That's what work is, right? I get into conversations with people. Nothing else matters, right? The green sheet, that'll figure itself out. I don't even need to know what a green sheet is until I have a buyer or seller. See what I'm saying? So this I found is also really good to help you track, keep track of the stuff that I'm asking you guys to track. Do you envision that being helpful in any way?
Yeah, I do. I think it would
too.
be helpful.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Right.
Yep, perfect.
And it could be, anything that, whether it's business related or otherwise. Let's say, for example,
Daj, ona ti jak glasi.
Let's say, for example, part of your daily rhythm is going to the gym, or part of your daily rhythm is praying, or part of your daily rhythm is doing push-ups or something. Put it on here. And this is your reminder. You know, let's say you want to see a quote every day, or you want to see a picture of your kid every day, whatever. Put it on here, right? This is what centers you. I'm here at work for a job. I need to treat it like a job. Aubrey said that this morning. Diane said that a second ago. I've said it over and over again. We got to treat this like it's a job, right? If I was your boss and I watched you be a realtor all day, how would I feel about that? Right? If I was your child and your financial success or your financial well-being was dictated by how much money you made as a parent, would I be proud of you or would I not be proud of you? See what I'm saying? You guys are awful quiet. Everyone's on mute. Is this document helpful and all?
Yes, very helpful.
Okay, beautiful. I will upload this
Yep,
to.
it's very helpful.
I will put it in the thingy right now. Okay, I will put it in the just PC file right now. Okay, what else is on you guys' mind?
Okay, I have an idea. Let me take myself off. I have an idea of something different. I talked to Diane about it the other day. Or who was it? Who did I talk to about this?
Diane,
anyway,
who's on?
Yes, and I talked about instead of just calling FSBOs, you know, and then saying, oh, it's another realtor and hanging up and blah, blah, blah. I want to use video text to say, hey, this is Liz Kennedy, blah, blah, blah. I'm a realtor. And then try to give them the best little 15, 20-second spiel I can through a video text, because I feel like they're more apt to listen to the whole thing.
That was me, Liz.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And, oh, Donna, sorry. Diane, we just got off the phone with Diane. It was Donna. So I was thinking about being able to do that and see if I can get them on the hook a little bit better than just trying to reach out and make a phone call that everybody else is making. I also have BombBomb, and I'm trying to figure out how best to do this. And I don't know if Julian's on here. He knows a lot about Vulcan 7.
You talking about Vulcan 7 or BombBomb?
Well, I use BombBomb,
Yeah.
but I'm also wondering if Julian's on here to try to figure out, you know, we talked about how to use Vulcan 7, and if there's a way that I can kind of do a mass text.
Yeah, you can do that through BombBomb.
Okay, but I don't know how to use Vulcan 7 as far as, do I just go through the list and punch in the numbers, or?
No, you don't have to do that. All right, let's back up. Let me make sure we're talking the same language with everyone. Okay, first of all, Vulcan 7, VULCAN 7, the number 7.com. All of you guys should know that we, as a market center, pay for you to have access to that product. Okay, that is the premier site for sale by owners, withdrawals, and expired listings. Okay, the username, I will type in here, and this is the password. Okay, when you log on to that site, you can play around, watch videos, learn best practices, all that kind of stuff. You can extract that data into a CSV file. BombBomb allows you to upload that data into a CSV file, right? You can edit the CSV file so it's like first name and number, for example, and you can send out mass text. The problem with mass text is that they are they're not personalized, right? So you have to, it's a balance between, do I want to send out 100 of them personalized, which takes forever? Do I want to send out 100 of them using some piece of technology not personalized, which could take 5 minutes? Or do I want to do it one by one? Hey, Liz, I see your house at 123 Main Street. I'm a realtor. I'm, you know, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you have any questions. Hey, Rhonda, same thing, right? So you're going through one by one. So you kind of have to think about your strategy. The other, just so you guys know, there's a product called BombBomb. I've had this for a long time. I actually don't have an account right now, but I've had it for a number of years. And it is essentially for video text and video emails. Really cool product. It's not that expensive. It's only like $50 or $60 a month. But don't do it unless you're going to use it. Like, you know, like they say, if you want to sell something, find a product for realtors because they'll buy anything, right?
Did you say that people can split the cost of that you can have multiple users or no?
Bomb?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, you have to just talk, like you'll probably want to just talk behind the scenes about, you know, how to label the different lists and that kind of stuff. And then you'll have to go in and like, I don't think they offer like multiple, like for example, I think you can save like a signature, like, you know, contact information. You'd have to figure out a way to quickly change that kind of thing.
Does anybody know how to extract the data from Vulcan 7? Is that an easy process or?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. To be honest, I've never tried it, but if you go into, I'm sure that's part of their like user videos, like welcome to BombBomb, here's how to use the software kind of deal. I'm sorry, what Vulcan 7. And you can also, I would assume that there's like Facebook groups for users where they're chatting about, you know, best practices and cool things that they're doing with the product and, you know, strategies and that kind of stuff. I'm trying to remember who, it is. It's got to be pretty easy to download to CSV. And you could probably.
The site is a little overwhelming. That's why I was wondering if anybody knew how, because it's.
Vulcan 7 download data. Yeah, I don't see it right off from a Google search, but it's got to be on there. I can't imagine it not being. The site is a little overwhelming, I agree. They also have a support number.
Okay.
Actually, don't call the support number because then, yeah,
It's not
back
you.
off of
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Okay, what other questions do we have? Yeah, they need a web designer. It's cluttered. Learn and support. Right, there's all kinds of like product webinars and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's videos on for sale by owner mastery, storyteller, how to use the dialer, all kinds of stuff. All right, who else?
So I missed the very beginning of the meeting because I'd stepped away. Are we talking about specific topics or is it just open to anything?
Open anything.
I have a question.
I could go on forever, but I want to make sure to give you the people who have actually committed to being here the opportunity to kind of set the agenda. My initial comment was that my initial thought or my goal here is really to not be the lecturer, but instead to be a participant and hear you guys as you're going through the course of business, right? What are you doing well? What are you struggling with? I mean, most everyone here is in a somewhat of a similar situation with their business. And I just want to hear, what are you guys doing well? What are you struggling with? Let's celebrate wins. If there's stuff to celebrate, this is really designed to help you.
Okay, so I have my very first closing next Tuesday, and I apparently forgot to do a form.
Which one?
Instructions to closing attorney.
That's easy. Don't worry about that.
Well, Kern's office asked me for it this morning, and I
they won't let you forget that one. That's how you get paid.
Right. So is it just a matter of putting in the commission amounts?
Yep. And I think at the top it says it references the property address and the contract date and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. The buyer, the seller, the property address. And then if you were to contribute anything out of your commission, you would have to itemize that on it.
Yeah. Like for example, if you paid for the termite letter, or you were buying the home warranty, or you were contributing to closing costs, something like that, which by the way, is not expected of you in any way. That's simply an opportunity for the closing attorney to put the commissions on the final paperwork the proper way.
Okay.
Okay, so Donna, read that really carefully, because one of the phrases there is a little confusing. I believe it says something like the total commission is, and then the amount that is going to be shared by to the buyer's agent is, right? And that's also not a form that the buyers and sellers sign. That's a form that the agents sign.
So is it typically the buyer's agent that fills this out?
You want me to give you a blunt answer to that?
Yeah.
No. Generally, it's not the buyer's agent. Generally, it's the listing agent, because the listing agent's the one that knows what the commission is. Like if I'm on the buyer's side, I know I'm getting 3, but I don't actually know what you're getting, right? So it's generally
Yeah.
filled out by the listing side. But to be honest with you, it's one of those things that generally the best agent deals with.
Yeah,
Right.
and I don't mind doing it. She kind of threw me off though, because I just
You're the
assumed
buyer's side, right?
I'm the buyer's side, and I just assumed that we were splitting the commission. So mine is 3%, and she told me hers is just $1,299, $1,299.
Yeah.
So
Generally
I thought that was
speaking, that
weird.
would be dealt with by the seller. Who's the brokerage?
I'm really not sure who she's with. Her name is Laura Garrison. I can't remember the brokerage.
Okay.
It wasn't anything big.
Okay,
was
so
some
it's
unique
probably
name.
some type of limited service brokerage, and
Yeah, I think she's this investor's property manager, to be honest.
okay. Generally, it's filled out by the seller, because they clearly know the breakdown of the commission, right? They know the total amount of commission. What I was alluding to is that oftentimes, like most parts of the contract and most parts of the file, is the best agent is the one that keeps everyone in shape.
Okay.
Usually there's one agent that's kind of driving it, and the other agent is just getting dragged along.
Yeah.
And if you end up doing most of the work, that's okay. That's your job.
Right.
Okay. And you can have that warm and fuzzy feeling in that you're the best agent in the deal. The truth of the matter is you probably are. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Long time coming. Okay, that
You
was
earned
my
it.
only question. Thank you.
You earned it. Come get a bottle of champagne on the office. Awesome. Awesome. Who else? What do you guys, what's new in your world? What are you doing well? What are you struggling with? You still like this time for the Launch Mastermind? Do you have any feedback? Do you have any complaints? Is there any topics you want to make recommendations on? Do you like the morning sessions now that they have a bit of more of a curriculum, if you will?
Yeah, I like the way you focus the morning sessions. I think that's helpful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. It needed a little bit more organization. Sometimes my ability to wing it works in my favor, and sometimes it's not. Okay, what else?
I also like the opportunity though to just throw things out and, have everybody talk about what they're working on or what challenges they're facing. So there's value in that too, because like others have said, we don't know what we don't know. So if somebody else runs into something that we haven't run into yet, at least we get to hear about it and hear what you have to say. So I find value in having the open discussions too.
Right, and that's kind of that's more of where you would do that is more in this setting, right? Because the morning session, like I agree, like if somebody is coming in and they're ready to get geeked up for the day, and then somebody asks a question that goes on forever, and it doesn't really pertain to them, they're like, maybe I'll skip the session tomorrow too. You know what I mean? So I want to get more energy in the morning. Who was on Aubrey's call today?
I was.
It's pretty cool.
It was. Yeah,
Yep.
that was really helpful.
I think it's awesome that he's doing that. That's great because like he said, you can sign up for some other company's presentation, seminar. It seems like they give you a really good rate, and then it's always leading to paying for some bigger program.
Of
They give
course.
you a little nugget, but it's just to kind of draw you in. So I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah. One thing that I like the fact that he started off the meeting with this idea, which is the last time that you pull that last sign out of the ground, you're done. No more commission checks coming. Unless you've created a business, or unless you've created investments or made investments, right? You know, I heard, I'm trying to make sure I don't botch the statistic, but it was something like, you know, it's like 40% of adults 50 years and older have net worths of less than $10,000. It's not even enough to put you in the ground, right? We have a huge opportunity here, you guys. We are the middleman between the world and real estate, right? There is no reason why we shouldn't have huge results. You know?
So
Yeah.
it sounds like that's something that he's planning on doing on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. You know, one thing that I've spent a considerable amount of time on, as many of you know, is profit share. And profit share is a passive investment too. You bring a capper to Keller Williams, that's like buying a property, right? You want $200 a month or $300 a month in passive income, go find a capper and bring them to Keller Williams, right? And allow them to take advantage of all the things that you're taking advantage of. And it's a win-win. And the laundry machine's not going to break, and the roof's not going to break, and the toilet's not going to overflow, right? Did you also hear, isn't it kind of cool that one person says, hey, I got property, I just don't have any money. And another person right after that says, hey, I got money, I just don't have any property.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, all you got to do is ask for what you want. And you'll probably find a peer right in our little world here that is ready to help, that you guys can, you know, get into a relationship with.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Okay. How are we doing on our numbers? I want to remind you of our challenge this month, which is we said that we were going to add 1,800 people to our database. 1,800 people. I know there's still some people who haven't reported from the first week in August, but we're nowhere near 1,800 people. We had 184 people just in that first week. That's not going to get us to our goal. That will get us to about half, not even half of our goal. So I want to remind you about, I want to emphasize the importance of growing your database. There was a video that I did talking about the pipeline. I've talked to a few of you guys individually about this, where we take the number of units that you want to close in the next 12 months, we triple it, and that is the number of people that I want you to put on your pipeline. So the pipeline is just simply a visual that shows you, hey, these are the people that are likely to work with me and that I'm likely to be paid for helping in the next 12 months. So if you want to sell 15 homes, our goal is to, in the next 12 months, our goal is to put 45 people on that pipeline report so that we can work to continue to deepen those relationships and to surprise and delight them and go earn those people's business. Okay. Now, that goal is kind of a forerunner to everything else that you're expected to do, right? Time lead generating, time following up, getting the information into command, right? Having contacts, booking appointments, adding people to the database, right? So it all leads back to the same thing, which is just simply meeting more people that might need your help in the future. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay, who's going to add a abnormally high number of people to their database this month? I need like a couple of people to go hog wild. Who wants to do it? Rhonda, you going to go hog wild?
I love your sense of humor.
I love the fact that you laugh at it.
Was that laughter or was it crying?
Uh-oh. What was it?
Maybe a little bit of both.
So, look, it's a request for you, right? There is an incredibly high correlation between the number of people in your database and the number of dollars in your bank account. Okay. And yet we all know it's not all about money, but money is not everything, but not having money is everything. Right. And so we want to get you into a place where you're not all that concerned about whether gas is 165 or 265, right?
So, Bill, I try to sit in on a lot of meetings and I hear the same thing from the successful agents, that if we actually do the work, that it's going to happen eventually.
Yes.
Is that true? Because I feel like I get discouraged. I get discouraged and I don't like feeling that way.
Discouragement is, and I appreciate you asking that question. Discouragement is at its root is simply, what's the way I want to put this? It's unmet expectations, basically, right? So if you were told, hey, you're not going to get your first deal for 2 years, then you'd have a whole different attitude about all this, right? You'd say, holy shit, I got my first deal in a couple months. This is awesome, right? So it's simply misplaced expectations or unmet expectations that's causing you to be frustrated, right? So don't tell yourself that it's going to be 2 more years before you have another deal, but also don't expect it to happen in the first week, right? Understand that you're planting seeds, right? I mean, I haven't, talked so much about my early days, but I got my license in mid 2005. Okay. I was really kind of part-time for about a year. I bought my own condo in January of 2006. Great timing. I represented myself. I bought the cheapest place in the entire MLS. I still own it. Okay. And I didn't have my next closing until November of 2006. Okay. Meanwhile, I was stealing my neighbor's internet, sitting on the only place that I could steal it, which happened to be the toilet, and I was working, right? And I know my wife doesn't love me for the size of my downline. Let me tell you that, okay? She, I owe a lot of it to her, but I had a passion to build a business, and I was not gonna wait any more tables, period, right? And that's just the way that it was. And I've been playing the long game since I started, right? And I have always lived within my means still, right? It's gonna happen, Donna. If you continue to plant seeds and you continue to, I don't want to take the analogy too far, but you're weeding your garden, you're watering your garden, you're putting fertilizer on your garden, you're visiting with your garden, you know what I mean? It's going to happen. And you want to speed it up, talk to more people. You want to speed it up, increase your skills so you can convert more of your opportunities. You can create more urgency. You can help people move the process along faster, right? There is no easy button. Every lead that has ever been procured costs time or money. And if it wasn't your time, then it's probably going to have to be your money. And if it wasn't your money, it's probably going to have to be your time. Does that make sense? And if you want to, and when I say your money, what I mean is buying it, right? I'm going to go buy a lead from somebody. That makes sense? So there are many, many people that have developed pretty impressive businesses that it wasn't always that way.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, it wasn't always that way. I've you know, not that I'm some expert, but you know, I've had you know, I've cashed in stock, and I've, you know, not bought a lot of groceries, and you know, I've had a bunch of credit card debt, you know, and I just kept at it because I kept seeing these people that weren't working all that harder than me, and definitely weren't any smarter than me. And I said, if these bozos can do it, I can certainly do it.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it just is, it is what it is, and it kind of made me into, like, first of all, it made me grateful, right? You know, I didn't just like, I earned every bit of it, don't get me wrong, but it didn't fall into my lap at the beginning. But I tell you that, so 2006, I bought my own home in January. I had one closing at the end of the year. 2007, I had 14 transactions. Okay, so it came quick. 2008, I had 4 transactions. I also got married that year. I took a long honeymoon. I totally wasn't focused on real estate. Like, I was in the love phase, right? 2009, made 6 figures. I think I had 19 or 20 transactions, and it's been a, you know, that or more ever since, right? So, you know, it's a lot of planting the seeds, right? And it's also building the network, right? It's who is out there that's going to help me make this easier, right? That could be other real estate agents, and it is, and it's going to be other home related vendors, and it is, right? There's a handful of agents I could look up and say, oh my gosh, hey Drew, it's Bill Linkwald, Keller Williams over in Roswell. What's it going to take to get that home? My buyer wants it. Oh, Bill, you're such an awesome agent. I really like working with you. Just give me this, and it's a done deal, right? Or I get some long inspection report back, and I send it to a vendor. I say, what's all this going to cost? Right? It just makes life easier when you have a network, right? And it also allows you to spend time doing what you want to do. You know, I kind of reached a point where I wasn't getting quite as much excitement and thrill from helping buyers and sellers, and I was getting more excitement and thrill from talking about Keller Williams with people, or being in some form of leadership training coaching role. And that's why, you know, that's why Pam is working pretty much all the opportunities, right? Pam worked with my father-in-law. Like, I didn't want any part of that. Like, I sure, you go deal with that. You see what I'm saying? What else? I feel like
Well,
I'm like a fireside chat or something.
I have something else to contribute if no one else has anything to say.
No, you're the one.
I just wanted to point out that in the bold yesterday, the working with buyers, there were a lot of great little scripts for handling buyer fears. I know you want us to really focus on listings, but you know, as I'm calling my sphere, there are a lot of people that are thinking about buying sometime in the future, and they come up with these different reasons for why they can't afford to buy now or why they don't want to buy now. And there were a lot of really good responses to that they included in the bold package yesterday. You know, I don't know if we're able to share that with other people who aren't in bold or what, but I just wanted to point that out.
I think that if you're comfortable reading off some of that stuff, I think that's appropriate. I'm a little reluctant to like upload it into the Google Drive or something, but to talk about it here, I think is appropriate. What do you want to share?
Like, for example, you may run into people who say they can't afford to buy a home right now. So you would respond, well, actually, you can't afford to not buy a home now. While the market may seem crazy, if you have your finances in order and you're motivated to buy, I can offer you solutions based on your situation. So I thought that was good. And then there was another one about credit. I can't buy a home because my credit isn't very good. Well, a less than perfect credit score won't necessarily prevent you from buying a home. Typically, there are two types of credit challenges, a poor credit history or no credit history. First, while it's valuable to have a good credit score, a poor one shouldn't prevent you from talking to several lenders to explore your options. You might be pleasantly surprised at the outcome. And it goes on. But I thought that would be a good one for like the introduction to talking to Tammy Mills or Kathy or some other lender, where someone just doesn't realize whether or not they're in a position to actually move forward with buying a house. So they had several, short responses to buyer fears that you may run into as you're talking to people in your sphere or.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. It's basically the first thing that popped into my mind when you said that was they're kind of afraid they're going to get sold, or they're kind of afraid that they're going to feel like you're wasting time with them if they're not ready or willing or something, right? So that's just a good opportunity in my eyes to say, hey, it's not about buying right now. It's about learning right now, right? You're eventually going to live somewhere, right? So I just want to be your resource. So if you decide to buy, it's presumably because you have investigated all your options and that makes the most sense. If you decide to rent, it's presumably because you've investigated all your options and renting makes more sense for you. Either is fine. I just want to be the one you come to when you have questions, right? And then they're like, oh, okay, so you're not trying to sell me. Yeah, dude, I just want you in my database. You'll buy eventually.
Yeah, it's like what Liz says. You just want to be their resource, their real estate resource or consultant for, hopefully, for life.
Exactly.
Just be available to them to answer questions. But there's like this, I don't know, this barrier or something that we have to break through to get them to understand that.
Well, you have to take an attitude that you are there to help them and that you have the skill to help them, right? That's the first piece. The second piece is that you've got to enter into that conversation not worried about you. You just need to be listening and trying to figure out how to help them. And when you have that mindset and you have that kind of approach when you're entering into that conversation with them, everything changes, right? Then it's like, hey, Donna, is there anything I can do to help you? You sure? Do you have any questions about this? Do you have any questions about that? Do you have any questions about this? Do you need a referral for this? And they're like, why is this guy being so nice? I think I'll want to use him as my realtor in the future. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Liz and I were talking about that the other day. Like I have a bunch of Facebook people that they're like friends of friends. And, when I was talking to my son about it, my son's 28, he's like, most people are assuming that if you're reaching out to them, you want something. So I'm trying to come up with some kind of really short script where I'm putting my value out there immediately. So it makes them want to read or hear from me instead of them automatically thinking I'm trying to get something from them.
Well, then I like that approach. I'd say there's probably a handful of things that you can have in the back of your mind. First is record low interest rates. If you own a home right now and you literally, if you have not refinanced in the last 4 weeks, it's probably time to revisit it again. I have a guy that lives across the street from me, bought about a month after I bought last summer, and he refinanced like maybe 3 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, and he's about to refinance again. And he's going to refinance again because it makes mathematical sense to refinance again. You see what I'm saying? So literally, if you have anybody in your world that owns a house that is not refinanced in the last 30 days, it's probably worthwhile to have a conversation with them about it and make an introduction. You also have the Keller Williams technology, right? So you have the neighborhood nurture opportunity where you can send them a live link where they can look at anything in the marketplace near them. They can add neighborhoods. They can track you know, the sales data in areas that they live in, right? And you can also make it fun. Say, hey, you know, it's really cool because it's the only app out there right now that allows you to search by neighborhoods. You know, I have a client who, for example, who added the neighborhood of where he grew up, right? It's in a different part of the country. That's okay, right? Hey, you know, if you were to buy a home, you know, have you ever thought about where your dream home would be? Right? Is your dream home in Vail, Colorado? Is your dream home in Portland, Maine? Is your dream home in Miami Beach? Right? Let's look at those neighborhoods. You can tweak it all out according to what you want, right? You could also offer your search app, right? You could also say, hey, you know, we got record low inventory right now. I just wanted to let you know that, like, if selling your home is even remotely on your radar, now may be the perfect time, right? Do rents typically go up or down?
Yeah, they go up.
Of course they do. So if you're renting right now, are you aware of the fact that you could buy something just as impressive, if not more impressive, and you can own, right? So when you call, yeah, you may want something. I wanted, like, truthfully, if I was not interested in helping you buy or sell something at some point, yeah, I probably wouldn't call you. However, like, I'm calling because I got a lot of really important information to share with you that's going to help you build wealth.
So these are like I said, Facebook friends that I don't really know. So I'm doing pretty much through Messenger. And Liz had a great idea, and she mentioned it earlier as far as FSBOs, using the video, short video, instead of, you know, the typing in a message. So I think I'm going to try that approach, because I have been using the low interest rates. I have used the app. I have used the owning instead of renting. Just looking for that little magic bullet, I guess.
You've got a couple magic bullets there. You got to ask enough questions to figure out what their magic bullet is. Right.
But I think I'm going to try the video too.
I think you, I mean, look at what's around you right now. Put that in the background and be like, hey, it's Donna, thinking about you, whatever. I mean, it's, people want to know you're a human. You know,
Right.
like Diane was talking about earlier. Oh, you didn't have to dress up to come to the appointment, right? They want to know you're a human. Like when my kids get in the middle of the Zooms or whatever, like, I basically have two choices. I can either, and I'm not perfect at this, I can either embrace it and make it fun, or I could, like, use that as an opportunity to, like, yell at them. Like, that's not fun for anyone. All right, guys. I felt like this was like one of the first times I've, like, kind of felt like I was, like, more of a participant than, like, on the stage. I kind of appreciate that every once in a while. I feel like I've got, like, I'm in front of, like, a campfire or something talking to you guys.
Yeah,
I
it was
actually have
nice.
one question. So
Yeah.
so based on your own situation, when and what made you decide to leave your other job, your other part-time job, to do this full-time? I'm just curious because I'm kind of in the same boat right now.
I was relieved of my duties.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I allegedly questioned a tip,
Gotcha.
and then I catapulted my real estate career.
Got it. Okay.
It was meant to be.
That's right.
It was meant to be. The truth of I mean, that is the truth, but I was ready for something different. I was ready to make more than 20 grand a year. I was, you know, I had just re-met my wife. Like, it was time to grow up.
Gotcha.
Man, you guys know everything about me now.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I'm an Aries.
Well, I don't know. Just hearing all that, Bill, made me feel a little better today. So I appreciate it.
Good. I mean, look, it is what it is. It's my story. I've learned a lot. I've helped a lot of people. I've screwed up a bunch, and I'm here to try to give you as much of a shortcut as I can. If I can save you all time or money or stress or energy, then that's my duty. That's my duty to you as a leader. is to is to help any way I can. Yeah. And I studied economics and psychology in school. I say, you know, like I studied money and I studied people. What else do I need to understand? Right?
That's right.
Cool. All right, y'all, go get some rest. Bring you some high energy on Monday, okay?
Sounds
do
good.
it.
All
Have a
right.
great weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
David, hang
Bye-bye.
back 2 seconds and we'll get started, okay?
Yes, yeah.